Happy new moon. Let's get into a pick a deck reading. As you can see, I've got 3 different decks laid out here. So go ahead, tap in with your intuition. Which deck do you feel drawn to? Go ahead, drop the number 1, 2, or 3 in the comments below. And while you're at it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Let's go ahead and dive into deck number 1. All right, for those of you that chose deck number 1, let's go ahead and give these cards a shuffle and see what's coming up for your new moon in Taurus messages. All right. So for you all, I'm using the Work Your Light Oracle cards. For those of you that are interested, check out the description box for a link to where you can get this deck. All right. So let's see what's going on for deck number 1. Okay, we got one flying out here. Beautiful. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. I love that. I just saw 44 seconds on the screen too, so 44 can be an angel number for those of you that chose this deck. Okay, so this is a really pivotal time. I mean, we're literally talking about a new moon, which is the time to plant the seeds for something new creations, a new world. I just heard new hair for some of you, so I don't know, you might be getting your hair did. Okay, under this influence of the sun being in Taurus, very much focusing on Venus aesthetics and all of the things associated with that particular planet. But yes, this is a time where you are also being invited to beautify your life in some way. So that can be what this new thing is here that you're birthing into your reality. All right, and that doesn't just have to be through like your physical appearance, although it can be. For others of you, this could have to do with a home, a property. You might be renovating. I'm also getting buying like property or land. I'm seeing where you're buying land and building something from the ground up. Whether that's a home or like a business or something. Okay, that's a really specific vision that I seem to be getting here for those of you that chose this pile. See what else is coming through as you are birthing in this new age. For some of you, you might be feeling more creative under the influence of Taurus, like I said, which is ruled by the planet Venus, which is about the arts as well. Okay, so for those of you that are artists, that are creatives, this is a really good time for you to start a new project. If you're feeling inspired to do so, like, run with it, plant the seeds, maybe write out at least like, what's the grand vision of your project? What are you trying to accomplish here? I just saw 3 minutes, 3 seconds on the screen. So 33 can also be an angel number for you, all right? Which is very much a number of creation, collaboration. It's giving me big Empress vibes, all right? So we also have break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. So this is, that is essentially what you're doing when you're dreaming a new world into being. You are rewriting the future. So for some of you, you've been doing a lot of spiritual lifting is what I'm hearing around like ancestral traumas, generational patterns, things of that nature. And you are going to be kind of creating a new way of being, not only for you, but for, future generations to come. I'm getting a strong message too. This is very much for those of you that this is for everyone, but I'm getting for someone that doesn't have children, right? Because usually when we think about the future, we think about like our children and continuing our bloodline. But I'm getting that something you're creating, this is like not just for like your children, even though you might end up having children, but if you don't, this is something that's going to serve like other children, as mentioned, future generations coming up. I don't know if somebody's starting like a school of some sort, or there's like an educational aspect to what you're doing, because I'm getting a strong emphasis on children. Okay. We have transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. So there's deep healing taking place, as mentioned, in you working through these ancestral patterns here. For some of you, you know, this is about maybe even being a bit of a black sheep. All right. That might have been the role you've played in family dynamics, but it's bigger than that role. It's like you may just with your awareness have only been able to see it through that particular label, but I'm getting that you need to change the label, because that's not what you are. There's a certain vibration that kind of resonates with being the black sheep, and it can be an energy of feeling like like not like you don't belong, that you are like an outcast or something, and that's not the case. You are very much meant to be a part of things, be a part of communities or whatnot. You are someone that just tends to be like the spearhead, the leader of things, which, you know, sometimes can feel a little bit isolating, like you're ahead of your time or something like that, right? But it is meant to, you know, play a role in the lives of the people around you as well. Like you are really important to the people around you. So sometimes, you know, when you're identifying with that black sheep mentality, it can feel like you're not important. And I think there's something coming through of you needing to change that ideology. And it's not in a self-aggrandizement, egotistical type of way at all. But, you know, some of you, there could be something about self-esteem, maybe some deep healing that you've done around that area of life. Maybe you've had a tendency to kind of put like other people on a pedestal. Maybe you've had a tendency to not really go after your dreams, after your goals. Maybe you felt like, oh, that's impossible, or that's not practical. I just saw 7 minutes, 7 seconds on the screen. So that can be another angel number that keep coming through. You've had 33, 44, 77 come through so far. But yes, we also have trust the niggle here. What is the niggling feeling telling you? As mentioned, you know, you've been guided, led to kind of go in a certain direction. I'm getting for some of you, like, it's not practical. Maybe your family has even told you that. Going back to that whole quote unquote black sheep, and I did mention you need to find a new name for that. Maybe pioneer, I don't know, whatever resonates with you. But, you know, figure something else out is what I'm being guided to tell you, because the vibrational resonance of that is kind of like blocking you or limiting your expansion at this point. Yeah, the elevation, the growth that you're meant to be experiencing. So there's like some really deep healing around that whole concept, that whole experience, like I said. And I'm not trying to invalidate that experience at all, because it can very well be made, or, you know, it just is made to make you feel you know, different, or, you know, unimportant, or weird, or whatever, right? Misunderstood. These might be energies that some of you are like transmuting, excuse me, at this time. So that is something to keep in mind here as well. Like, not everyone has the ability to transmute, or they don't have the awareness of. And you have awareness that comes from like many past lifetimes. I get some of you are really old souls. You might have connection to like ancient Egypt or some shit. But yes, like you are someone that just has kind of like you've had more experience, because you are an older soul than some of the people around you who might actually be young souls. Oh my gosh. I kid you not. The age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. I told you, you an old soul ass motherfucker. And that's cool, okay? I love me an old soul because, woo, y'all just be deep, wise, just be knowing things, okay? So that's you. Maybe even from a young age, that could have been like something that people joked about, like that you were really mature or like older, wiser for your age, you know, something like that, okay? So like I said, you've been here, and even here, this is like an Egyptian type of thing going on here too. So once again, ancient Egypt seems to be really like significant to those of you that chose deck number 1. Let's pull some tarot cards. Let's get a little more insight into these messages here. Like, you've been training, so you know you are meant to be taking on a position of leadership in a way, right? Even here, how she's the only one in the purple, and then there's these 2 people like in the background. Like, this is you in the purple. Oh, I like the 3 too, because I mentioned Empress energy was coming through earlier. 3 is the number associated with the Empress. So there is an element of connection and collaboration, but almost more from like a supportive angle where you're the one that's leading, you know, preoccupying that space where you're like, hey, this is what we're doing. And then people are coming in to support you. This is, yeah, what are you doing here? This seems really interesting. Ten of Pentacles, we do have collaboration, especially financially. We've got the bag. This is the legacy too. This is the legacy. This is, you know, what you're setting up. Come on, birthing a new age. You are birthing an age of wealth, of abundance, of for some of you, like, this is a luxurious lifestyle. This is having more than enough, okay, when it comes to finances. So this is what you are in the process of creating for yourselves, deck number 1. This could also have a lot to do with partnership. We have a couple here. So for some of you, you know, maybe you are trying to bring in that higher level of commitment, someone that you can build a life with, a legacy with. For others of you, these are business partners, okay? And these are people that you're creating your legacy with here as well. It's like y'all are getting the bag together. And this is the perfect time, new moon in Taurus, to plant the seeds for getting the bag, okay? So definitely take advantage of this. Do something with the new moon. Like I said, even if it's as simple as just like writing down your goals, okay? Writing down your idea. So we have this hangman that flipped out here too. Clarifying, breaking the chain. So this is like releasing, surrendering to that old narrative. As I was saying, the black sheep thing, this is about seeing something from a different perspective, from a more enlightened perspective. Okay, don't take offense. The black sheep, like that narrative, it can still be very disempowering, in kind of putting us in that space of, not to say that we haven't been victimized, you have typically being in that role, okay? But it's time to once again transmute this, to alter the perspective around this. You know, and many of you, what you thought you were the black sheep, you know, that's what you thought. Like, no, you're like a pioneer in your family. You're the chain breaker in your family, the curse breaker, whatever you want to call it, okay? This is you, right? So like I was saying, just kind of, you know, maybe changing the name on it, or, you know, sometimes it's not even just about a name thing. It's just like your perspective is needing to shift when it comes to this. And the hangman is about seeing something from a higher perspective, you know, being a little more detached to here. Just the way he's just like literally upside down, but he's chilling. Like, there's no sweat. He's not stressing. He's just like, all right, I'm here. So, oh, I just had a lot of cars just jump out here. So he's like, I'm just gonna be here. Yeah, see, 10 of Swords. looking at those Ten of Swords experiences in a different way, looking at, you know, what felt like a betrayal, right? Especially as a child, you know, when we still kind of carrying some of those wounds there. It can be hard to see the purpose like beyond like the pain. Yeah. So some of you, you are going to start to see that. The Hangman is Neptune energy too. This is also Saturn. This is Pisces. So we've got both Saturn and Neptune in Pisces right now. So there could be some clarity that you're having. Like I said, some aha moments that are like, okay, I see why I had to go through that. I see what my role is here. Once again, leader, didn't I mention over here? We see the dynamic of the three people. Same. This one is the one that stands out though. Okay, so for some of you, I'm hearing like a reclamation of like your power. Maybe growing up, you saw your like caregivers, parents use their power in a way that was disempowering to others. Okay, but that's not real power. Real power empowers other people. Okay, so I think this is something that you are transforming to, and this is deep. As mentioned, this is an ancestral pattern here, so this can look like, you know, patterns of abuse that may have been playing out in the family, and not even just physical. I'm getting with the Ten of Swords, this is people that learn how to be really strategic with like their words, and you know, this is gossip, this is slander, this is what do they call, like smear campaigns and stuff like that. It's like creating that kind of energy. Okay, but once again, like you are in this dynamic because you have the spiritual sight to kind of see beyond this, to really be the leader of a family. I don't know, some of you could be stepping into like this next new age or whatever, is like you stepping into like either the matriarchal or like patriarchal position of like kind of like leading your family or something, especially spiritually. Between the Hangman and the Hierophant, there's heavy spiritual religious connotations coming through. Now for some of you, I will say, you know, this can be that contrast between spirituality and religion. You know, some of you might be choosing to break out of certain religious traditions and choosing to pursue more spiritual paths here. That can be something that is also maybe the talk amongst others with that Ten of Swords, all right, to be completely honest. But hey, if you're here watching these readings, I'm sure you've experienced that at some point, where people like, I don't know what she into or what they got going on, but they can keep that over there, whatever, you know, that's cool. It does get to a point within your journey where stuff like that just kind of rolls off your back, and you just realize that people are, I don't even want to say ignorant. They know what they know, and they don't know what they don't know. Okay, but you know some things here with the King of Swords. You know, whatever it is that you are, you know, getting yourself involved in. For some of you, you could be going to school here with the Hierophant, furthering your education, or you are going to be in a position of teaching. As mentioned, I did mention some of you could be starting a school, and this doesn't always have to like be a traditional, like, you know, kind of educational school that we would think of, like the schools we went to growing up. You know, this can be an online school that you're starting. For some of you, it might be like a spiritual school of some sort that you're starting. It could be any kind of school, an art school, whatever, okay? But some of you are definitely in the phase of like really just stepping into these leadership abilities. It's something that you know here with the King of Swords that can really benefit other people. Okay, so Definitely don't be afraid to embrace your genius is something that I'm picking up on too. And that's a thing I know Black Sheeps experience a lot growing up. It's like, hey, like it's kind of like I know I'm the shit, but I'm not really getting the affirmation, the reassurance that I need. I might be getting the exact opposite. I might be getting a lot of criticism. You know, people might be undermining me, overlooking me, whatever. Okay. So this is about kind of like reaffirming yourself, reaffirming your genius, your ideas, your creativity, your vision, you know, all of the things, and slowly and steadily moving towards that Knight of Pentacles, excuse me. You know, and yeah, make sure you create your plan as well, especially for some of you when it comes to maybe the finances that are involved. You know, within this, you know, definitely you want to get into the details, okay, when it comes to the finances, especially because we are in an earth sign season. So this is an invitation to slow down because we just got through crazy ass Aries season, right? Everything was so like with the eclipses and oh my gosh, Mercury retrograde, like all of the things, right? So now we're being invited to slow it on down here. Let's strategize, even with the King of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. These are great energies to work with, you know, in combination because they're great for financial planning. Okay, so maybe some of you, like I said, you are starting up whatever it is. It doesn't necessarily have to be a school, okay? Maybe it's a business you're starting, an organization, a club that you're starting, a family that you're starting, right? You got to financially plan for that too. So these are things that some of you are getting like into the details of here, to, you know, make sure that your vision, it is it manifests, it becomes something practical and not just a vision, something just kind of, oh, it's ethereal but it's not really real. You know, not to say the ethereal isn't real in its own way, but you know, you want it real, you want it tangible. So we do have this Page of Swords coming through here as well. This could be people that you're connecting with too, especially with the King of Swords. I would typically see in a position of leadership, you know, maybe as this Hierophant. And then we've got, you see these two people here, even over here, same thing. So this could be the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Swords, okay, that you are connecting with, whether you're an air sign or not. You know, you could be connecting with an earth energy and an air energy, another air energy potentially. But this can also be someone that is helping you out like financially, okay, with whatever your vision is. Because the Hierophant can also be like the leader of like a, I don't know, like a corporation or something. Like, I know everybody's not into like, oh, capitalism, and I don't want to be a part of that, but maybe shit, the leader of a movement or something, whatever, okay? But they know like, look, I have the vision. Maybe I need someone to come in with the expertise financially. Maybe I also need someone to come in. The Page of Swords would be like an assistant or something, you know, like help me kind of get things organized. Let me like kind of bounce ideas and my thoughts off of you, like that type of situation. So this could be kind of the dynamic, because I am seeing there's something significant about 3 here for some of you, and this might be the collaboration, because I'm even seeing like all the triangles kind of coming through. Oh my gosh, should I just throw that up and everybody's gonna think, oh, this bitch is an Illuminati? Like, no. I'm not in that tax bracket, sorry, but yeah, like the triangle symbolism is coming through like really strongly here. So and that number 3, as mentioned, is the Empress. It is Taurus, it is Venus, it is you know, collaboration, it's birthing, you know, something from nothing, right? And this is what you're doing. You're taking that driver's seat here as the Emperor as well, you know, like in control of your destiny. focused on, you know, what it is that you're trying to accomplish. You're also like just unshakable, unmovable here. Even when it comes to stuff like the Ten of Swords, as I mentioned, this could be people, you know, talking outside they neck or whatever about what you doing, what your journey is, when mind you, like, you good. They're not walking in your shoes, they're not walking your journey, so it's not always for other people to understand. The Emperor, he don't give a fuck. He ain't worried about what, he don't even be hearing what's going on with the Ten of Swords, because he's in his empire. That's chitter chatter that's going on outside of the empire, baby. So that might be how some of y'all need to look at things. Maybe that's the niggling feeling you're feeling. Even just looking at their positioning here, maybe you feel like someone's doing something behind my back. Just the, even the black, the colors here. Look, don't pay that, no, never mind, okay? It's just people, like I said, they don't understand your journey, what you're doing. They're not meant to. You are an old soul. You've been training for this. You're on the right path. This is what you're doing. I love the Fool. This is like the energy to embrace, which is a very carefree attitude. You know, it is being willing to maybe look a little foolish to some people. You know, the Fool, they are kind of woo-woo, you know, they are very much trusting in the universe, in the unseen, like that they are always going to be supported. You know, sometimes they make decisions and moves that don't really look like, you know, normal to like the practical or the everyday person, but they are just so deeply in tune with spirit, with themselves as well, you know, and their own intuition, and, you know, allowing that to just kind of guide their path. And I feel like it makes for such a beautiful path that this, for those of you that chose this deck, this is a beautiful adventure that your life like gets to undertake. And like I said, this is in the background. Like, this is your only kind of challenging card in this reading. That Page of Swords too is funny. That can be sometimes the gossip too, but they're like not even on your level. Like, whoever this is, it's like they don't understand like what you're creating for your life. So I wouldn't even give two fucks, not a fuck, not half a fuck, about what somebody like that would have to say about me. Okay, like, do you, okay? Because doing you is what creates the magic in your life. Doing you is also what aligns you with the opportunities that you need, to, you know, thrive in life, to, and not even just on a superficial level. And that's something that I think maybe people aren't realizing about you. You're about to get the bag, most certainly. Look, you're going to be good financially, but you're also about to be really happy with the way that you make your money. And that is something that a lot of people, they can't fathom. Like, wait, you can love what you do for a living? Like, yes, you can. And yes, you have to be willing to take some risks here with the Fool. Yes, you have to be willing to maybe look a little stupid or foolish sometimes, you know, if you're caring about what other people think, whoop-de-woo. But you got to be willing. You got to be willing to, you know, follow your heart and to lead with that. Remember, trust the niggle here. So that is what you're being guided to do. This is the age of light, you know, as I mentioned. It's not just about the money that's going to be there for you, but it's about the joy too. And this is the new era that you're moving into. Some of you, maybe with this Ten of Swords, I don't know, maybe the past 10 years have been really bad. Past 10 months, maybe you feel like you've just gone through a lifetime of these Ten of Swords kind of experiences. But with this Emperor and this Fool energy, you're taking a stand here in a different way, that really shields you, honestly, from a lot of that stuff. It's kind of like you're no longer vibrating on that level. And once again, I'm telling you, okay, this is the cheat code for you guys. I'm telling you, it's that black sheep thing. It's the energy behind it, okay? And y'all know when you start talking about your black sheep story, how I didn't fit in and nobody da 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 da. Yeah, no, that can't be the story anymore. Okay, that can't be the energy. You have to change that. And you are, like, even unconsciously, you guys are going through this. And you know, with that being said, your vibration is shifting, and it's lightening, and it's more joyful. It's more almost like childlike. There's a sense of innocence that's kind of restored to your life again too, and it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. Okay, so with that being said, my loves, I'm going to wrap this up here. I hope this resonated. Leave me a like, share some feedback in the comments, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Until next time, sending you so much love. Take care. Bye. All right, for those of you that chose pile number 2, you chose the Shamanic Healing Oracle cards. So we're going to get into this reading, y'all, for the new moon in Taurus here. See what is coming through for those of you that chose deck number 2. I'll be using a combination of these oracle cards and some tarot cards as well. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button too. You'll definitely be getting some messages here today. So let's see what we got going on, Spirit. Talk to us for those of us that chose deck number 2. Okay, we have duality coming through here. Okay, so this does suggest that this might be a time where you're feeling pulled in different directions here. Now, when we're going through Taurus season right now, the opposite of Taurus is Scorpio, which I just saw 111 on the screen. That can be an angel number for some of you. I'm drawn to like the dark, the blackbird here being Scorpio. And here we've got this Taurus energy. You know, as we know, Venus, or if you don't know, astrologically, Venus is a benefic planet. So it's a planet that generally does like good things for whatever part of your chart it is in. But then Scorpio, which is Taurus's opposite, is ruled by Pluto, which is a malefic planet, which can cause a little more drama, chaos, challenge, right? Okay, so this can be a part of the duality that some of you are even facing right now. Maybe there are like, I'm getting, there could be like one area of your life that is fucking beautiful, and then this other area of your life that is like pure shit. And you're just like, yo, what the fuck? The cognitive dissonance here is just like blowing my mind, okay? So that may be hard to kind of deal with. This could also be something that is kind of taking place outside of you externally. Maybe you have been in opposition with another person that is kind of different from you in some way, shape, or form, right? So there's this element of the two of you possibly being at odds, not really seeing where the other person is coming from. Now, usually this is indicative of something that's going on inside of ourselves. Like there's maybe aspects of ourselves that we are not acknowledging, that we are suppressing, you know, that we are overlooking, ignoring, whatever the case may be. We're going to get a little more insight here on what this is about. Now, when we're talking about Taurus and Scorpio, the duality or the conflict can be between our physical needs, okay? Earthy Taurus, you know, all about comfort, physical security, money, you know, stuff like that, versus Scorpio, which is more on the emotional side of things. And I need the emotional security. I need the intimacy. I need the connection. So there can be maybe some type of balance that you're trying to find. It makes me think of one of my cards in the, what is it, the Price of Love Oracle deck. It's money versus love. And I remember that card actually came out for one of the zodiac signs in the how do they feel about me reading. So I don't know, some of y'all may need to check that reading out too. Let's see what else we have coming through here with this theme of duality and unlimited possibilities. I love that. Okay. Yes, that's beautiful. Okay. So what I'm getting from this, I was literally just on Threads talking about this the other day, that, you know, what if we looked at other people's differences as an opportunity to learn, as an opportunity to expand our awareness, our consciousness, versus an opportunity to debate or defend or argue or fight, right? It's very like conflicting type of energies. It's like, well, what if, and I'm not saying that everybody's shit is valid, okay, because I'm sorry, it is some people where I'm just like, your experience, you're fucking racist or a bigot or some shit, it's not valid. But you know, aside from stuff like that, you know, this is an opportunity for some of you to maybe embrace something, a different way of seeing things, a different way of going about, you know, life, right? There could be an interaction, a relationship, an exchange that's coming into your environment for a reason to kind of like open you up to some different possibilities, open you up to a different side of yourself that maybe has been, I heard, locked down. Okay, yeah, new day, crazy. Like both of the decks, and I'm using different decks for a reason, but they're getting similar themes. We have this energy of newness coming through here for those of you that chose deck number 2 here. So like I was saying, there's something that's wanting to emerge inside of you, and there, I do feel like it's a situation like outside of you, externally to you, that might be triggering, to be honest. Okay, it might be feeling like, oh, you're challenging me, or oh, what the, like, you're I don't know, you're weird, or I don't get it, like something about this other person or whatever. You're just like, yeah, I don't understand. But I'm telling you, like, this is going to be something that awakens a part of you. I feel like I'm talking to maybe a fixed sign. I'm getting a bit of stubborn energy, so I'm very much getting Taurus, Scorpio, maybe Leo or Aquarius, okay? And it doesn't have to be your sun sign. It can be somewhere else in your chart. But yeah, I'm getting like there's a need to be a little more flexible. Some of you could be interacting with a more mutable energy, a Pisces, Gemini, what else? Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius. Okay, so you could be dealing with someone that has like those placements. Even drawn to the dragonfly here, which is someone who they kind of flitter about, they change direction a lot. And as a fixed sign, you guys kind of, and this is if I'm talking to someone with fixed placements, you tend to be a little more rooted, okay? So you might look at this other person and maybe their lack of having that rootedness as like, you might be just judging it a little bit, because you might look at it as, oh, they're irresponsible, or they're all over the place, or kind of like all of these labels we would give to someone who, you know, societally we would kind of look at as maybe being like irresponsible, or you know, all of these things. But who said, you know, that's what that is? You know, this is an opportunity for you to question that, to question what you've been taught by society. And I think this person is coming through. I heard unconventional. They're coming through to challenge maybe a lot of your conventional ideas about life, and you know, about maybe work, career, purpose, relationships. You know, it could be all of the things, right? But it is a new day. Ooh, they're definitely coming through to maybe awaken something on that the sexual side, okay? And this could be you, okay? Deck number 2, you might be the person that's coming through with this very dynamic, mutable type of energy, and you're serving as a catharsis to kind of awaken something in someone else. But honestly, I feel like this is like a mutual exchange between the two of you. It's not just one person that's in the teaching position. The both of you are teaching, but the both of you are also students. You are meant to learn from this other person as well. Maybe there are certain things, you know, especially if you're a little more free-spirited, nomadic in nature. You might move around a lot, you know, you don't stay in one place too long. There could be something that you're meant to learn, you know, from this person that does, you know, maybe you learn like, oh, you know, the depth of relationships that you're able to build when you're sticking around a little longer, you know, the community that you're able to create, you know, whatever, right? Whereas from you, they might learn like when you travel a lot, bro, you're like so inspired, you're so tapped in creatively, you're exposed to like different cultures and people, you know, different ways of life, right? You know, so you kind of view things a lot differently. So this is an opportunity, deck number 2, for the two of you to learn from each other. And this doesn't have to be, because with the sexual energy card, I mean, for some of you, it can be romantic, someone that you have that kind of connection to, but it doesn't have to be. I'm getting this is more so sacral chakra activation that could be taking place within this dynamic. Possibly for the person, I am getting someone that is very fixed, maybe a little rigid. You know, life has kind of been da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's something about like your presence, I feel like, that sparks something in them. And it's not an energy that necessarily has to be directed towards you with their sacral chakra activating. Because like I said, this could be a platonic connection. This could be a family member, like, you know, whatever. But it's like going to awaken a side of them that is also going to kind of like benefit their romantic relationship too, is what I'm seeing. Okay. So, and for you too, you know, this is something that can be really empowering for you, to just kind of embrace this primal instinct, you know, it's within all of us. So there could be something that you're healing around like your sexuality. I'm like, oh, do I want to say that? I'm like, YouTube's so sensitive these days. But yeah, there could be something that you're healing around that. For some of you, like I said, it may be more creatively, that's what you're healing as well. Okay. Through self-love. Yes, I love that. And I'm getting here too, I'm getting a really strong message of, I be wanting to talk so freely about shit, and I really just don't like the internet, how restricted they're getting with everything. But for some of you, this is about self-pleasure that you're being invited to partake in. And what better season than during Taurus season, which is very much centered around our pleasure. Okay, so that's what I think is the big theme here for some of you. You know, life isn't just about hard work. It's not just about making money and paying bills and being responsible. It's also about feeling good, enjoying yourself, letting your hair down, laughing, playing, having sex. Okay, like whether it's sex with a partner, sex with yourself, right? You know, it's about making sure that you're feeling good. And if we're keeping it a buck, the majority of us, you know, unfortunately, we might not have the privilege to work a job that we love. Okay, so you've got to imagine how much time the majority of people spend in their day doing something they don't like doing. Okay, so that means every day you should be prioritizing something that you do like doing. Okay, for some of you, you definitely need to have more sexy time, and this doesn't have to be with a partner. There's a need for self-exploration, you know, learning yourself, what you like. Yeah, there's energy of someone that deprives themselves. I don't know. Now I'm picking up on Capricorn. I know they can kind of, as far as earth signs, you know, Taurus, they're not finna deprive themselves of shit. They're like, yeah, I want that. Like, give it to me. Capricorn, yeah. So I don't know if I'm picking up on somebody with some cap placements. You know, I'm not deserving of it until I accomplish XYZ, until I have this amount of money in my bank account, till I drive this kind of car. Like, yeah, no. You deserve to have those moments of enjoyment along the way to the big successes and the things that you're trying to, you know, accomplish for yourself. Wow, this is so crazy. Why do we have the same cards coming out? Different decks. Wow. Okay. So we have this card came out in deck number 1, the Hangman, clarifying duality, okay, which is very much this is Pisces, okay? And Pisces is the sign of duality. I mean, Gemini too. But this is Pisces coming through. We have Saturn and Neptune in Pisces right now. These planets are gonna be going retrograde like this summer, so there can be some opportunities, as I mentioned here, to see something from a different perspective, to maybe see a person from a different perspective, a different lifestyle from a different perspective, a spiritual path from a different perspective. You know, whatever it is that you're looking at, it's like your mindset is changing around this, okay? Also, you're releasing, like, if you felt the need to kind of conform and to just like fit in a box or be one way, you're releasing the pressure around that. You're releasing the desire. Yeah, I'm hearing I just don't give a fuck. So maybe that's like the part of you that is being activated by this interaction, because I do feel like it very much is community oriented. This message has been coming through pretty strong, where someone is kind of like sparking this in you, awakening this in you, because it's always been in you. But when you're around people that typically function the way that you function, that part of you is gonna kind of lie dormant, okay? But it's coming back online for some of y'all. You might I don't know why I feel like I'm talking to someone that might be a little older too. Like, I'm getting, I don't know, their 50s. They could be going through the second Saturn return or something like that, because I'm getting someone's like rebellious nature kind of coming through. What do they call it? Midlife crisis. I don't really like those names, and I don't know why that message has been coming through in the different decks, as far as how we're labeling things. That too is really important. So look, I don't know anybody out there, maybe they feel like they're going through a midlife crisis, quarter life crisis. You know, that's a thing too. Because look, I definitely had, I feel like I had quite a few of those in my 20s. Shit, I'm in one right now. I'm 33. But anyway, like, you know, this is definitely something that can be used to spark change. Okay, it can be used to spark a new day, a crisis, right? That's usually what it is, you know, when someone's like, you know, it might seem like they're acting out. Like, for instance, let's just keep using the midlife crisis, right? You know, the person in their 50s, like, all of a sudden they want to start acting like they're 20. And it could just be because a part of them is longing to connect with, you know, that free spirit, rebellious, like non-conformity, especially when you go through so much like life, adulting. I get why people have fucking midlife crisis, because being an adult is not fun. Like, I'm sorry, like, this shit was definitely not cracked up to what I thought it would be. Now I see why my parents were like, don't be in a rush to grow up, because seriously, all you do is like work and pay bills and stress out, and hopefully you're in a pretty good position where you don't have to stress out so much. But, a lot of people, especially in this economy, they're struggling right now. So, and this is very much an opportunity for many of us, regardless of what age you are, really, to open your mind up to a new way of doing things. Like, do we really just have to settle for feeling like this, Ten of Swords, on a day-to-day basis in the work that we do? Maybe for some of you, this is in relationships that you have. Like, do you have to feel like Ten of Swords, exhausted, depleted, just burnt out all the time? When it comes to relationships, this is being betrayed and, kind of left for dead, people abandoning you. Like, is this something that you have to experience? Like, no. Like, that's just one experience, one reality. And maybe it's something, yeah, with the Ten of Swords you've experienced more than once, but that's still not the only reality that you can have. And some of you are needing to recognize, like, hey, baby, it is a new day. It is a new dawn, a new day. 2020, I just saw on the timer there. That can be an angel number for you. It's time for you to, I'm getting for some of you, you need to like reconnect. You need to be around people that like are really pouring into you. This could even be for many of you a spring, summer of connection, of collaboration, just getting out, like I said, enjoying yourself. That's what the Three of Cups is all about. Not overworking yourself, stretching yourself thin. Also not, preoccupying spaces, relationships that are not mutually beneficial, that don't pour into you, relationships that don't bring you joy. Okay, you're like, look, I don't have time for any of that other shit. My mantra here, my MO this spring and this summer is to be positive vibes, good times, that type of thing. And if people can't bring that energy, then I don't want them a part of the party. All right, and that could be kind of where you're at with it too. Yeah, I heard somebody ain't a part of the party. So some of y'all, this could be the Ten of Swords is like a relationship that's kind of ending. You might be having a perspective shift in that. Maybe you felt really bad about it. Like, oh, this person abandoned me. Da, 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 da. But you're going to be having a perspective shift where it's like, actually, maybe that person was restricting me, holding me back in more ways than I thought. Also, this person might have been talking a lot of shit about me behind my back. Ten of Swords can be someone that's on that type of time, okay? So, I'm just saying. Yeah, Seven of Wands. Might have had to block their ass. Okay, if this person is no longer in your life, there's a reason for it. You need to set this boundary. You need to keep that boundary set. Also, for some of you, this is protecting your sexual energy, okay? You are going to be out and about looking good, right? Drinking, having a good time. And I'm not saying, look, I don't slut shame. I don't sex shame, none of that, because we grown. So have your fun. But also, just be mindful because it's potent. Okay, that thing be thangin'. And you just want to make sure that you're using it in a way that you see fit for yourself. Okay, so I just saw 2244 on the screen. That can be another angel number for you, but it's okay to be choosy. It's okay to be like, nah, like, they don't really deserve it. I'd rather not. Some of you might be, as I mentioned, getting a little bit more into self-pleasure, and you're like, look, they probably can't even please me the way that I can please myself, so I'm good. Some of you, this is blocking people too. If it's not from your sexual energy, from your creative energy, sacral chakra, womb. Okay, so these are people that you tend to overly nurture. You're overly giving to, and they just taking. Right? So this is you putting boundaries on that. Like, actually, this is what we're not doing. If you can't, reciprocate and it can't be mutual, I don't want it. Because, yeah, you're at a place in your journey where it's like you love yourself too much to be settling for anything that's less than nourishing for you, okay? No more of this Ten of Swords. That's where the duality comes in with give and take. Some of you give. You too giving. And you need to learn how to kind of reel that in sometimes. And to receive. What are people willing to give to you? Right? Wow, that's so crazy. We have the Knight of Swords. I don't know. Some of you could be involved with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. They're mad. There's someone that's salty. Ooh. They might be mad that you've chosen to create some distance, some space. You've chosen to set a boundary. They might try and come in and, you know, get you ruffled up. But I don't think you care. Especially with the Fool popping out. The first deck got this too. So like I said, there's a lot of cards that kind of repeated. And I'm using completely different decks here. So, look, don't let this person come in raining on your parade, doing any of that BS, because, yeah, like, you deserve to be happy. And that's what this Fool card is about too, like stepping into your joy. You know, that's the most loving thing that you can do. Also protecting your joy. Yes, look at the yellow behind him associated with joy, happiness, right? And the way that he's guarding it, he's protecting it. Like, no, you can't come in and bring this Ten of Swords shit into my energy, into my space. If you do, that's fine. I can get rowdy with your ass too. Knight of Swords don't have a problem clapping back, okay? So some of you, if you feel like you gotta take it there, you will. But, you know, for others of you, you just gonna, you know, choose the high road. Continue to focus on you. Continue to focus on your journey, your happiness. Like I said here with the Fool, some of you may really be getting ready to embark on a new beginning in some way, like a new job. You're moving somewhere. A new business you're starting, a new life that you're about to be living here, but you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna keep focusing on that and just staying light of heart. Whoever this is, I would just kind of like I said, I would avoid this person. You might end up with that Seven of Wands having to block them too. If they get a little more aggressive, which they potentially can, especially with their words, they can get a little nasty. So like I said, look, protect your peace, protect your joy. Also your inner child here with the Fool card. You know, this is about protecting that aspect of you too. And just like you would protect a child, right? You wouldn't, you know, let somebody's just talk crazy to a child in front of you, more than likely. So same thing, when somebody's talking to you crazy, remember who they talking to, and that you still have an inner child and you have to protect that part of you, and, you know, do what you need to do. So this is a really beautiful energy. I do feel like, look, this person, whoever this is, first of all, they hating. Okay, there's something about your sexual energy, and like I said, this ain't even got to be someone you're tied to romantically. You might be very alluring. There's something about you. Your magnetism is very strong, and I think this person might be a bit jealous. It could literally be your appearance too. You might just give like very sexy, almost scorpionic type of vibes. I don't know. But like this person's like very intimidated and I think a little jealous of that about you. And that's their problem. This can be someone that's kind of projecting some of their own like sexual shame onto you, is something that I'm picking up on too. And once again, their problem, not yours, okay? So with that being said, my loves, I am going to wrap up this reading here. If this resonated at all, leave me a like, comment below, give me some feedback, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Until next time, sending you so much love. Take care. Bye. All right, for those of you that chose deck number 3, you chose the Soul's Journey lesson cards. So let's go ahead and get into it. These are your new moon in Taurus messages. I'm also going to pull some tarot cards to get some additional insight, but let's go ahead and tap in for those of you that chose deck number 3. I don't know why I'm hearing the word resilience coming through. Okay, so some of you might be going through a bit of a tough time here, or there could even be something coming up for you. I'm kind of getting like a moment of reprieve, or like a sense of like, ah, finally, like that's done. Okay, like maybe after going through a really rough time, it's over. We have success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. All right, so some of you might be in a space where you are redefining what success means for you. Okay, you know, oftentimes we are conditioned to have certain expectations of what a successful life looks like, and you guys might be kind of treading a different path than most. Okay, yeah, because I'm drawn to the star in the, I guess this is kind of a star. So well, it makes me think of one. It's actually a flower, I think, but but it made me think of a star. Okay, so some of you might be meant to have some sort of great success, but your path is going to look a little different than the next person's. You might also be realizing that a part of success is not just about like having money and financial security, although that still may very much be a part of your vision, but you might also be in a space where you're wanting to you know, be led with love, like in what you do. You want to enjoy what you do. You want to, you know, love what you do, feel inspired by what you do, feel regenerated by what you do. So that could be changing. Maybe some of you are going through career shifts, even like your lifestyle. You could be making some changes with that. I'm getting minimalist, so somebody could be like selling a lot of their things, downsizing in some capacity. Oh my gosh, I just dropped so many cards. Give me a second. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'm just going to put these back in the deck. It's way too many cards. But yeah, somebody I'm definitely getting is like downsizing. Their life isn't being centered around things as much. Okay. Which is an interesting space to be in during Taurus season, an earth sign that is very much, you know, focused on the material safety and security. So like I said, I do get that some of you might be like selling all of your stuff and like moving to a different country or something like that, because for you a part of success is experiencing the world, experiencing different ways of life, you know. Very interesting. Okay, so we have fear. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Love keeps coming through, okay? In both of these messages, I know there is no greater goal than to love. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. So when you are in that fear-based space, you're out of the love-based vibration, right? For some of you, this could be fear that you have around being seen, around sharing your gifts, your talents with other people. That is an act of love. Wow. I wasn't expecting for that to come through. But yes, like you sharing your gifts, your talents, the things that you know, your experiences with others, your testimony, whatever you want to call it, like that is an act of love. And that is what you should be seeking to do more of, like each and every day, like that more of your acts on a day-to-day basis, your actions, right, are based in love and not fear. So that is something that's coming through for you all. It's like this kind of contrast between being like very restricted, fear-based, to being very expansive, love-based, right? Even here, look at how, like, I'm just so drawn to the shapes and all of the stuff going on in this. But it's like making me think of something shining, right? Which means that it's expansive, which means that it's taking up space, okay? So once again, there's a message coming through of maybe you guys like needing to take up more space in some capacity. You know, this could be you, I don't know, inserting yourself in certain environments, you taking the initiative when it comes to you know, connecting with others, you getting outside of your comfort zone, you know, maybe going to that new coffee shop you've been wanting to try, but, you know, you and your friend, you guys can't ever get on the same schedule. So you've been kind of waiting around on them. It's like, no, go to the coffee shop yourself. Like, you don't need to wait on them. But, you know, maybe some fear comes up like, oh, excuse me. Oh, I don't know anybody. Oh, I need my like emotional support. Maybe that's what that friend is for you or whatever the case may be. And it's like, cut that out, okay? Whenever you get into that space of, like I said, feeling restricted, feeling like you gotta, like you're smaller, that you kind of need to hide, that you're shrinking, that's not what we want, okay? That's not what we want here. We want you to expand. We want you to take up space. We want you to, because within these spaces you bring light, okay, with your love. That's what it is. So, and for some of you, it's not even about like interactions that you have with everybody in these spaces. Y'all don't know how deep this is. Spirit, Jesus Christ, you don't know how deep this is. This is just about your presence. It's just about your presence and the love. It's the energy. Okay, do you not understand like the electricity that's like emanating from your heart space? Like that's literally like pure electricity. That's energy emanating from outside of you, like inside to outside, right? The effect that energy has on a room, has on other people's energy, is profound. And some of you don't realize, like, just in your presence, just in you being in a space, you don't even have to talk to some of these people. Just in you being in the space, you are the light, you are the love, you are the joy, you are, you know, the peace, whatever, like, I heard, I just heard scared to sing. Some of you might be singers. And it's crazy because, I mean, you guys are the third reading. So I will say it's probably because I've been talking a lot. And my voice is kind of giving out with your reading. I probably just need to drink some fucking water too. But some of you, it's like your throat chakra, like you're meant to be more expressive. Once again, this also has to do with taking up more space. Taking up more space means expressing your opinions, your thoughts, your feelings, you know, not always keeping everything to yourself, restricted, fearful of how other people are going to respond to you, what they're going to think, you know, what their opinion's going to be. What if they get mad at you? What if they don't want to fuck with you no more? What if? Who gives a shit about that? Because ultimately, like, you are like being in your purpose. When you are in that expansive space, you're in your purpose. When you're in that expressive space, you're in your purpose. Now, whether other people can get down with that or not, that's their business, okay? You gotta walk in your shit, okay? I'm hearing for some of you, you gotta talk in your shit. So there's something about, like, you gotta talk your shit. Like, there's something, I don't know, some of you you're meant to be like a public speaker or do something where you are literally using your voice. Like I mentioned singing, maybe it's public speaking, maybe it's podcasting, whatever, okay? But it's something about you talking, you sharing your thoughts, your ideas is very important. Your feelings, like all the things, you know. For some of you, you might be really creative, maybe like a songwriter, but you can write other things too, right? I don't know, maybe you're writing a TV show, a movie script or something, but that there's something that's really big that's a part of your purpose, but you can't hide away from it, and you've got to trust yourself here. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly, right? Even when other people project their fear onto you, even when you are in, I'm hearing in your brilliance, like you're just radiating. And sometimes people, knowingly, unknowingly, maliciously, not maliciously, they'll throw shade, right? That's what fear is. It's casting shade on your light, on your, because your light is also, it's not just your love too. Your light is your faith. Your faith, not even just in yourself, but in God, in a higher plan, in a higher purpose for your life. And people will, like I said, whatever the reason, we're not here to decipher that. They don't really matter that much in the grand scheme of things. I'm sorry. But like they'll throw that fear over it. They'll cast seeds of doubt, right? In your plans and what you're doing. You got to trust yourself first and foremost, okay? You know, trust that you are connected to source, to God, like that you know where you going and what you doing, okay? It's not for other people to understand, to lead the way, to guide you. Your destiny is not theirs, and vice versa. So your guidance is going to be different from theirs. That's the way everybody's intuition works. It's not just like a fucking, I don't know, like everybody just gets the same exact like set of instructions. That's not what this is. So when you go in to ask other people for advice, and it's not to say you can't ever ask people for advice. Sometimes people do have like seeds of wisdom that they're meant to, you know, impart into you or whatnot. But you know, for some of y'all always going out seeking so much advice from other people, their instructions for their life and their destiny are different from your instructions for your life and your destiny. And many of you, your shit look a lot different on the outside too. You might not be following a very traditional path. Why you're having to trust yourself and in this higher power and purpose even more. Okay. Yeah, because some of you might just be living a very different, like I'm very much getting like a mystic, someone that kind of like, it seems like they're wandering and drifting throughout life, maybe without a rhyme or reason, but there is very much a rhyme or reason here that most people, they just can't really grasp, okay? Because that's not their destiny. So they're not going to grasp it. I mean, some people will. They'll get it even if it's not theirs. They can see like, okay, you know, you're just doing your life. Some people just understand the concept of that in general, that everybody has their own path, right? I get whoever I'm connecting with seems to have a very like mystical or spiritual path. It's very like heavily faith-based, right? Patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order. If that's not something that's a faith-based type of development that's taking place here, a type of sharpening that's taking place, yeah. Because for some of you, I get to, you might feel behind, quote unquote. You might be looking around you like there's people my age, they have XYZ, I don't have these things. And once again, here we go with the names, the labels, and the frequency, the vibration behind these things. For you all, I get your name, the late bloomers, okay? The late bloomers. So in childhood, we all know what that means. You know, in adolescence, you tend to kind of grow up a little, or, you know, go through puberty a little later than everybody else. So yes, you may feel like your life has kind of been like that. Like maybe when it comes to finding a partner, a spouse, maybe when it comes to getting a house or finishing school or whatever, you know, you might feel like, I'm like further behind than everybody else. You're not walking everybody else's path. Okay, I'm sorry. Look, I hate to break it to you. You might be comparing yourself once again to people. They have a completely different destiny than you, and we all do when you really sit down and think about it. Don't we all have our own unique destiny to us? So I get that some of you, you're kind of getting caught up in some of those like societal expectations of like what you should have accomplished by this age or whatever, this phase in your life, what is successful. um, Once again, you're on a different path, okay? And you are going to have success in your life, and I don't feel like it's just going to be like spiritual success either. I do feel like it's going to be the material success as well. I just feel like it comes a little slower for you guys. That's not a bad thing, okay? So yeah, like maybe, hey, maybe you do resonate with late bloomer. So let's keep going through this reading, because I actually want to continue just exploring what's coming up here and seeing if we can find a different way to reframe like that narrative associated with the late bloomer. Okay. So let's continue to go with it. And this is crazy, y'all, because this is actually a concept I've been kind of thinking about a lot recently. I just heard God takes his time, okay? God takes his time, her time, whatever, daytime. God takes his time with you, okay? That means God likes to spend extra time with you. So there could be something about that coming through here, because I do, like I said, I got a really strong spiritual mystical energy with pile number 3. You might do something within like the spiritual arts. You might be a reader or do something, energy work, whatever it is. Okay. But like God, you are meant in this lifetime to have a lot of time with God, with like the universe. I'm getting to, there may be periods or even an underlying feeling sometimes of being alone or feeling lonely. Because there's an element possibly of, like I said, not being understood. Like people don't really get my path. And some people will, some people won't. Even if nobody understands it, you've got to understand it, okay? Because you might not get to the affirmation from anybody. Who do you really need it from but from God? But from you, your higher self, yourself that is in heaven, okay? In the 5D, whatever it is you resonate with, okay? Your higher self, your God self, right? And what, you know, you are capable of. Some of you, you've been sleeping on yourselves, okay? Because like I said, maybe you don't have some of the worldly quote unquote successes that a lot of other people do. Or like I said, things may be a little slower for you. But it's because God, look, I don't really feel like there's anything such as God's favorites. I don't believe in that. But jokingly, I'm gonna give that to y'all. That's gonna be y'all title. That's something, it can be between us, okay? For those of you that are watching for deck number 3, that'll be our little secret. But y'all are like God's favorite, because God's like, no, like I like this person. I want to spend a lot of time with them. You know, I'm gonna make sure we, you know, doing all the little spiritual work, spiritual lessons and things like that. And you might be looking like, God, this is not helping me in my like physical day-to-day life. Like this isn't translating, you know, where's the abundance, the prosperity, all of these things. Patience. That's coming too. It's coming too. Like, I don't feel like this is a situation where you have to wait until the afterlife to experience your riches. Nah, not even. Not even. Look at that, 5 of Pentacles. Not even. Like, come on. For some of you, yes. This 5 of Pentacles is not just about poverty, financial loss. It's also about feeling like unsupported, feeling disconnected, feeling like kind of like vulnerable. This is also feeling inadequate, feeling, you know, like you're not, you ain't got what you need, whether that's financially. Okay, so I was mentioning for some of you, yes, like you have been doing a lot of the spiritual work and you're wondering like, yo, what's up with the physical material? Where's it coming? When is it coming? I'm telling you, it's coming. We'll see if we can get a little bit of a win time frame here. But there's something, as I mentioned, about the spaces that you preoccupy, you just showing up, being places. It really like heals other people here with this 5 of Pentacles. Like it gives them warmth. Okay, like I said, there's a light about you, and it's like a flame or something that literally gives someone a sense of safety. Maybe that's a part of your purpose here too, helping people to feel safe in being themselves. Because you may be someone that at certain times has maybe felt a little challenged in kind of walking your own path and being like maybe your own person, maybe being a little different. Like I said, you seem to be highly spiritual, which isn't always valued in our society. So, you know, you can easily be someone who's, you know, maybe your interests, the things that you're naturally good at, tends to go overlooked, because it's like, what is that of use in when it comes to capitalism, right? There's no use in that. So you guys are very familiar with this 5 of Pentacles. So it also seems like a part of your purpose to make sure that, you know, other people aren't out here being overlooked or forgotten, abandoned, you know, making sure that they're being loved, that they're being taken care of. So that might even be a part of like when you do come into this success, some of you might help like the needy out quite a bit. You might give money back. Just helping like people that are less fortunate could be a big part of your mission, what you're meant to do. You know, you might be that source of refuge for people that are misplaced or feel like they don't have a home. There's a lot of waiting, with your path. 3 of Wands. Okay. Feeling like, okay, I've been putting in some work here. When are my ships gonna come in? For some of you, like I said, they're coming in a lot sooner than you think. This Wands energy definitely gives me like springtime vibes. So, I mean, we're in the spring right now. For some of you, there could be some fear surrounding like the progression of something you've been working on, possibly in business. or this could just even be in life, you know, a general sense of feeling like, am I progressing? Am I, you know, accomplishing my goals? You know, am I moving forward? That type of thing. And with the Three of Wands, there's this fear of like, I'm not moving forward. I'm just stuck here. And like everyone is, as mentioned, maybe having certain milestones, you know, things that we are traditionally expected to, you know, have at certain points within our life. And you're like, I don't think I'm there yet. like, you know, maybe some of my ships haven't quite come in yet, you know, and everyone's path is different. Some of you, especially with him kind of being alone here, I don't feel like you're meant to be alone. But as I was saying, you are, remember our inside joke, our little thing, God's favorite. You know, God likes to spend extra time with you, and oftentimes has to do that when you're alone, when you're not preoccupied, you know, by a bunch of other people and other things. It's like, okay, finally I can get some time with you. I can check in, because we do need to check in about your mission and, you know, all the work you've been doing here. And hey, you've been doing a really good job. But, you know, we still got other things to do, and I need to talk to you about that. Okay. So there could be this, this desire, I know, like to, maybe you want to connect a little more too, because even in the Five of Pentacles, it can sometimes feel a little isolating. I don't know, some of you have gone through a recent rejection, ending of a relationship, breakup, falling out with that Five of Pentacles. Sometimes that can be a job loss, okay, something that didn't quite work out. You know, maybe you felt like you thought it had potential, not so much. That too is a part of the purpose as well. Maybe you're in a space of trying to figure out like, man, why did that have to happen? It's just part of the plan. Like I said, and a lot of your work, part of the plan is preoccupying spaces, being the light. And then sometimes you leave. You're not the light there anymore. It's like, okay, well, I'm on to my next mission. That's what this is. For some of you, you are going through like a relationship transition. There has been like a loss or something, falling out, whatever you want to call it. And it's like your mission is done there, is what I'm seeing. And as I mentioned, there was something about casting shade on your light, because this is pretty shady. The interaction, the exchange between you and this person might have gotten there. That's the thing, when you show up like so bright, so luminous, sometimes that can be very attractive in the beginning, and then it can turn into something that's a little intimidating, like, oh, you know. Then, you know, someone that was once your biggest fan, now they like, oh, you feeling yourself and you think you better than da 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 da. It can, you know, shine the light on people's own insecurities and inadequacies if they're not mindful of that. You know, so something might have gotten a little shady there between you and another person. But like I said, you kind of served your purpose there. You were the light for the time you needed to be. And now it's time to kind of like move on to something else. Maybe time to take some space for yourself as well, like I said, because God is wanting to take a little time with you. Yeah, God's wanting to take that time with you to build yourself up. Not that I see that you've just been crushed by the situation. I don't see that in the slightest. But, you know, there is a need for you to reconnect with Source here with the Strength card. You know, this is about plugging in with your higher self, like I said, your God self, to be in communication about, all right, you know, what's next, you know. The Strength card is also about patience. There's this element of there's not a whole lot of movement that we see here in this reading. And hey, we are in Taurus season. The new moon's in Taurus, an earth sign, which is very much a slow, deliberate, steady kind of vibe. Okay, I don't know, I'm talking to someone out there that might be a fire or air sign, because you're probably like, oh, why are things taking so long? So for some of you, you might, I don't know, you might have gotten out of a relationship. You thought like, oh, that was my person. Turns out it wasn't the situation there. So you might be in this space like, wait, but I thought that I was meant to have a partner, and I could have sworn that was a person. And the universe is like, wait, you gotta wait a little longer. And you're just like, oh, brother, like, I'm so tired of this lesson of waiting, of of being patient. But I just heard Ascended Master here too. For some of you, okay, you're like on another level when it comes to like this spiritual work here. Okay, I'm getting old soul vibes with you all, kind of like I was with deck number 1, but I'm getting a metaphor like you're in a PhD program when it comes to like spirituality. Like, I don't know if you are on the path of becoming an ascended master or some shit, like, or you work really closely with the ascended masters, which means that your energy is like pretty elevated. Ascended masters like Jesus, Buddha, you know, Mother Mary. It's all these like, you know, spiritual figures that we know about. So some of you could definitely be tapping in with, you know, whoever you feel connected to in this strength card. Okay, like, you know, learning about them, learning their qualities, how to become more like them. You know, this could be like the Orisha, the Lawa. This is working with some spirits here. You have to be strong in your purpose too. Yeah. Maybe you've had to be really strong throughout life. You've had challenges. You felt at times unsupported, 5 of Pentacles. You felt at times left out in the cold, abandoned, left for dead, rejected, overlooked, outcast. You felt those things. You felt, you know, being by yourself. Yes, not for long. 2 of Cups. And the Lovers. Not for long, they said. This is home, whoever this is. You could be meeting them. We got Gemini season, could be significant. Okay. Look, for some of y'all, it could be the same connection that is going through a transformation. And so, you know, sometimes things just need time, right? You know, maybe someone with this 5 of Pentacles, I will be honest, you and this person could have both been connecting when you were in a space that was just kind of low vibe, okay? But you might have needed to take some time apart to get your vibration up, right? To get your spirit right. See how we have the Lion here and the Lion here, okay? So get your spirit right, get your heart right too. When I think of a lion, I always think of like heart-based kind of energy. Having courage to be ourselves, having courage to walk in our purpose, having courage to, you know, feel the fear. Yeah, that's what this quote is associated with this card. Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's what strength is, right? The fear, that shit, it is. It's always gonna be there. You ain't never really gonna get rid of that shit. But it's like, how much are you letting that control your life? Okay, and this is coming into a space where you're like, nah, I'm putting it in its place, right? And I'm acting from a higher energy, from my higher self, which is what? Rooted in love. Your God self, it's so expansive, right? It knows no limits, no bounds, no fear. Because it knows, is that the right word? Impermanence? I don't know if that's the right word. but it knows that it's eternal, essentially. Like it never never dies. Nothing ever, the spirit never does. It never dies. Like they say, energy, it never dies. It only transforms or whatever. So there's something about you really tapping into your higher self, or it really like kind of, I don't know, going through some little level up here through whatever this experience is that you've had. Like I said, that might have triggered up some feelings of rejection, abandonment, you know, all that stuff. But you are coming in, you're healing. You've been healing, and you're about to come into connection here. All right, we've got soulmate. Whether it's romantic, platonic, it doesn't really matter, okay? You know, this is about someone that's on your level, you know, two people that are coming together in a very healed space, because as mentioned, you might have been connecting, whether this is the same person or not, this is like a frequency you were on, a timeline that you were on. I get in, it stinks, and it stinks. So I don't know, this timeline that you were on, super stinky. That is so funny that is like what they want to use the word here. But yeah, you're moving into something. It smells lavish over here with this Two of Cups, this new timeline that you're on. For some of you, it is new relationship. For others of you, it can be a relationship that has transformed, you know, where you have kind of leveled up and healed from this Five of Pentacles, like, you know, lack mentality, whether it's like, I ain't got the money, or, you know, or I just ain't got the confidence, I ain't got the abilities. It's like none of that type of attitude, no more. Like, you know, if you were connecting with people from that space, you're not doing it anymore, okay? You're connecting with people that have worked through and healed that wounding, you know, about not feeling good enough or whatever. You know, these are people coming together in a whole space. You know, they ready to exchange equally when it comes to emotion, when it comes to just like nurturing each other, the connection. And then we have the lovers. Like I said, I don't know, it could be something about Gemini season coming up, but you guys are very much in this patience. You know, you might have been wondering like, damn, like, am I ever going to, you know, meet my person? You guys, I'll just say y'all got the love reading, because I didn't really see a lot of love stuff in the other decks, but for y'all, it is kind of what it's looking like. So look, you might be feeling single like a Pringle. I get some of y'all in this Three of Wands, y'all like, I ain't worried about that, you know, I'm focused on other things. And you might be very surprised by some things that are gonna start unfolding for you. And it's almost because like you stopped looking for it, you stopped waiting on it, and you just like, whatever, like what's gonna be is what is gonna be. With the Strength card here too, I get there's an element of just kind of accepting life, and not in a like victim type of way, but in a way of surrender, like in understanding that there are certain elements of life that just are not in your control, and that is okay, you know, and just kind of trusting the way that things unfold for you. I guess I never came up with a word aside from late bloomer to call you guys, because I get, maybe this is the case for some of you. You might be getting married or meeting your person like a little later in the game, you know, compared to other people. But remember, this has always been your path. This is the time that this was meant to happen for you, the season that it was meant to happen, the person that it was meant to happen. Like all of this has been divinely orchestrated. So that's so great. I just heard hallelujah. Like it's like, even like, I don't know, like y'all got ancestors or something that are behind this union that is coming together. For some of you, it might be a reunion, okay? But it's like, all right, about damn time, okay? But it's just the timing of it all, and the timing has been nothing less than divine, okay? So with that being said, my loves, I'm gonna wrap up y'all reading here. I hope this resonated. Leave me a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and share your feedback below in the comments. Until next time, take care. Bye.